Ginny and Tim at DS Tech in the beautiful Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And what we're going to talk today about is oversharing. And there's a surprise in this episode that I never thought of. And I actually asked Tim about it. It was like, for real? Is that for real? I'm like, am I oversharing? So I'm curious to know if any of this will resonate with you. Drop your comments and your questions and let us know if we can help you with any of training of your employees and team members about this kind of thing. Because obviously I needed the training too.
Yeah, this is something that a lot of people don't think about as often. But yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right,
let's dive in.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, ready to go. So the main topic of this is about the oversharing. Now, when people hear of oversharing, they typically think of social media, things like that, but it still also carries over into the business world where people, maybe they manage a business website or they just are running a business website and they're doing something as simple as they have 10 staff members and they have every staff member's email listed underneath their portrait. Well, that could be great for communication, your small business trying to get out there. But the problem with that is that attackers can actually scrape your social media websites, take all this stuff, and now they have a list of emails that they can try to log in as from your staff. It's actually better if you had a single email that said contact at company X, and then you can monitor just that email for, it's going to be more publicly exposed. And then your private employees, they'll just get those emails as they do business with you. So something as simple as that, and it can kind of carry forward. So
I never thought of that one either.
I know, it just.
Oh my gosh.
So the introduction is oversharing in the social media age. So social media has shifted the norms. So I think about back when social media first came out, I kind of even made fun of the first people on Facebook who were taking pictures of their dinner and sharing it. Like, who wants to see your dinner? And now I'm out there, I'm at a good dinner and I'm taking pictures.
Yeah.
Of my, it's kind of shifted culture and how we share with each other. Like I'm guilty of it too.
Now I'm posting birds, Tim.
Yeah, well, hey, whatever. Take pictures of my garden. So exactly. So we've gotten to, with social media, be kind of shifted in a culture of sharing is good. We're posting on social media for the affirmation for their friends. It used to be all verbal and kind of things like that. But because of that, we're almost gotten to the point where we're sharing almost too much, and some of it could be taken for a security concern. So an example I give in real world too, not just like with IT, where someone was basically targeted, where someone goes to, for example, the gym every single day and they post every single day, I go to the gym at 8:00 and they're always gone. And if someone is looking at that person, they would know, oh, this person always posts. So now if I wanted to say break into their house or do something bad, I know when they're going to be gone to do that. Well, now it's the same for your IT. So think of the basic one I'll give you is that we talked about was your out of the office messages. If you're going to be gone for a week at a convention or what have you, you don't want to say, I'm leaving for an entire week. I don't have access to my work email. So if you want a chance to hack me, now's your great time. I mean, that's not what you're actually putting in your message, but that's what attackers will see if they say, Tim is gone until July 14th, and I'll have no access. If you put all those specific dates and details into your message, it can be useful. And I get the idea of you want to let people know when you're returning, but it should try to be just quiet and succinct. Hey, I'm out of the office. If you need immediate support, please contact, helpdesk at dstech.net. And don't put dates, don't put anything in there. Those that are working with you closely may know you're going to be gone and why, but they know that just from working with you, you don't need that message out there that anyone that randomly sends you an email is going to get that information. So it may seem like just a tiny little bit, but if you are in a really high risk scenario where your business is being targeted by a group, that kind of stuff will be very useful to minimize.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So can you send a different message to the outside world than you do to the
Yes. If you've set up your out of the office messages, you've noticed there is like an internal inside my organization, and I think it's called outside my organization. And so you can have a separate message to internal staff. So say anyone at DS Tech messages me because the DS Tech email matches, they get a different message than anyone that's not DS Tech messaging me. And you can set that up in your email as well. So if you wanted to put the details for your internal staff or for your close business partners, you can, but then outside the organization, keep it very brief and try not to post too much. So
I can fix my mistake.
Yes, easily.
Good.
So that how bad actors exploit this information. So again, threat actors will mine social media and email for reconnaissance, various photos out of the office replies, ideal time for phishing impersonation. They'll look at a business and see when, try to do habits. It's like if it's a bank, for example, they know that they're typically operating 9 to 5, so they're going to probably target phishing messages during that time when staff are most likely working. They're not going to send phishing messages at 2 in the morning if they're somewhat being targeted instead of just praying. C-level executives are also targeted with CEO fraud, business email compromises again. LinkedIn job roles can help attackers craft believable spear phishing emails where they might send you, hey, I want to work for your company, and it's actually a malicious attachment instead of a resume. There's all kinds of things they can do. So you really want to minimize the amount you're posting on your social media. So an example scenario is, hi, I'm traveling this week with an auto reply. The attacker sends a fake invoice from the CEO knowing that the boss is gone, and it could potentially, get someone to act on that. So again, best practices for social media and email presence. Designate a social media manager if you have the staff for it, or if you have someone that's managing the social media. Don't just let like 5 people in there posting randomly. Have maybe one person be the source of it who's posting and vetting everything before they do. That's somewhat trained on the security awareness, so they're not just putting a bunch of stuff out on your social media. Avoid listing staff emails on the public website. Use contact at company X or support at company. Don't list everyone's individual emails. Again, it's hard to police all of that, but if you just have a standard website that you're in control of, you can manage that. You can't really, post what everyone's doing on LinkedIn as much as you're trying to manage that too. You want to have some training as well of what they're posting on LinkedIn and other maybe business social medias as well. So LinkedIn tips for staff. So avoid specifics like, again, I'm traveling to X. Phoenix all week. I'm gone till now. And there's times where I've even done it, right? I'm going to IT Nation Secure, so anyone that can Google and kind of get a rough idea when that's happening and get a rough idea. And so it's kind of common, but the idea is you're not just putting all the specifics out there. With a lot of the AI and the bots, where they will scrape your transcripts, they'll scrape the data, and they can kind of feed it back. Where if you kind of leave it more vague without the dates, it requires that extra step of research that most of these attackers aren't doing.
Yeah, they're going to do the fastest, easiest way.
Yeah, if anyone has dates in their email, those are the ones they're going to hit. If anyone just has a generic message, they're going to skip by because they already have better data they can try to hit.
Yeah.
So out of the office messages, do's and don'ts. Again, avoid, I'm on vacation until July 14th, no access to my email. Back on July 14th, reach out to Sarah. Sarah at Company X for emergencies. Try to use something similar to this, right? Thank you for your message. I'm currently out of the office. Please contact our team at support@company.com. You don't have any dates. You don't say why or anything like that. You just say I'm out. Contact them, and that way it's more vague. And they, if they know you, they may know why and when. But for anyone just randomly sending emails, they won't get any information from that. So again, it reduces the attacker contacts, and it doesn't give away internal team structure or staffing availability. And it keeps people on, again, a need-to-know basis. So,
Zero trust, need to know.
Pretty much.
Right?
It's just kind of what we've always talked about. So biggest thing with this is security awareness training and culture. Like there's no software solution I can put in place that checks your out of office messages for dates that stops staff from posting them. At least maybe there's something like that. I don't know, but that seems a little bit above and beyond usually what you can do in your yearly refresher, which you should be doing anyway, where you kind of just tell everyone the latest in security, what to look out for phishing. Maybe there's QR codes now, don't scan, things like that. Part of that, talk about the oversharing. Just add it as a line item, discuss why it's important, why you don't want to do it, and the security ramifications of it. You could reference this video if you want to show them. Doesn't matter to me. But the annual security training should include some sort of social media best practices, what you can and cannot post on social media. Usually your company handbook already has that as a policy, but to actually talk about it and review it is help as a reminder. Basic email hygiene, and then operational security basics about not posting all that data that is not needed except for those who need to know. So you want to encourage the need to share versus nice to share mindset. Do I need to really share this, or is this just a benefit to share? And then a cultural shift where security is everyone's responsibility. It's not just IT or a DS Tech's responsibility to do the IT for us. We need to take some ownership of that and actually teach our staff and listen to what they're saying and practice it. And again, the human layer is still going to be the most vulnerable. So again, in cybersecurity, if you can do that staff training, that culture shift internally at your company, where you're really training everyone to actually think with security first, you'll be in a real good spot. So I guess in closing, some of the key points again: social media and email auto replies seem harmless until they're not. So again, just minimize what you're posting and what you're doing. Again, try not to use specific dates and exact things that they can look for patterns and then know when to attack you because you're gone. Again, tightening how you can share information, we reduce the attack surfaces. And a culture of security starts with the awareness and consistent behavior. So everyone from the C-level all the way down to the new intern needs to all be, adhering to the security practices and not oversharing on social media. Because what will happen is if you tell all your staff, hey, you can't be posting on social media, and they see that someone who's a manager is on social media just sharing everything, it's like, it's one of those things of do what I say, not what I do kind of thing. So everyone needs to be doing it from the top down to really kind of encourage that security mindset forward in your business. So, yeah. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to DS Tech. We can review your social media for you if you wanted to. I don't we don't do anything specific like that, but it could be just having that security awareness and having that training with you. We can easily have like a yearly refresher for you, and then we can tie this into part of that content. So.
And of course, if there's some of the videos we've made over the years that are helpful, you can always share them and ask me if there's a particular topic that you need us to cover or that we've already covered, and I'll share them with you gladly. So there's that. And one thing that popped into my head too is we had another episode where we talked about oversharing with Dave on social media. And we also talked about the social engineering aspect where, those posts where it says, what's your favorite color?
Oh,
what's your pet's name?
All the security questions.
Exactly. I'm like, so don't do those either.
Yeah.
That's oversharing too, because they could guess your passwords from those.
Mm-hmm.
So good stuff.
Yeah.
I learned something this time. So this is good.
Yeah.
If you have any questions or comments, if you've done any of these things, comment. Let us know. Let us know if we can help. Go to our website and sign up for our newsletter and all that good stuff. So we'll see you next time. Stay safe.